WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for staying up with us tonight. As the state continues to reopen, cash registers are ringing up merchandise again, and that means sales tax collections should begin to climb up. That's big news in small towns where those dollars help keep the budgets balanced. Our Stephanie Poole speaks to local city leaders about how reopening has helped them.
In a small town like Bruce, every dollar counts. Ward 5 Alderwoman Ellen Shaw says when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, her town began to experience an economic downfall.
It's been really hard. That's been very difficult.
She says April and March showed some of the lowest numbers.
You know, the budget's one of those things that fluctuates a lot, and it takes a while for it to kind of even back out, but I think it will get back to where it needs to be.
She believes in order for Bruce's city budget to bounce back, citizens need to spend their money closer to home.
Shopping local is very important for a small area because it is what funds everything we need, from streets to any kind of sewer improvements. It's very important for all infrastructure.
Shaw says with stores reopening, the sales tax totals should start to climb.
It's been great for the economy. I think it's given a lot of people confidence to get back out and shop and get back in their local areas and get back involved again.
And hopefully businesses in Bruce will continue to grow.
I do think it gives people hope for the future, and I think there's just, seeing people out and seeing people be involved, it gives them hope to start something new and to be back involved.
Reporting in Calhoun County, Stephanie Poole, WCBI News.
Shaw says it may take until the end of the year for sales tax collections to go back to normal. School will be back in session in about 2 months, but before the bell rings, many school districts are busy adjusting their teaching methods and coming up with new plans to keep everyone safe in light of COVID-19. Our Quentin Smith visits the Lamar County School District in Alabama to find out how they're preparing.
When students in Lamar County, Alabama return to class in August, they'll have the option to either return to campus or do virtual learning.
When we come back in the fall, we will be aggressive in what we need to do as far as teaching.
For students in the traditional setting, Superintendent Vance Herron says the class sizes will be about the same as they were in the past. To help ensure safety, classrooms and buses will be cleaned daily, and the district is also adding more hand sanitizing stations all throughout the buildings.
Our buildings and classrooms are not big enough to have the 6-foot social distancing around them. We're not going to require, but if students want to wear a mask, by all means they can do so.
But for those not comfortable returning to school, they don't have to, thanks to a new virtual option. However, each student must be responsible for having internet access and the devices needed for online learning.
What will happen is the teacher will load assignments on that virtual site, and that student will go in and work those assignments and then send it back to the teacher for them to grade their work.
Right now, the district is sending out surveys to see which options students prefer.
We'll always encourage the traditional route because you get that in-person instruction taking place.
To help with this transition, educators are also relying on the parents to teach their child safe and healthy habits at home.
If your child's running fever and you're coming back to traditional setting, don't send them to school if they're running fever. Really work on this summer of teaching them proper etiquette and washing hands and coughing into their elbow, into the pits, and sneezing covered.
Now, for those interested in doing classes online, parents need to call the school principal. Herron will meet with the State Department of Education later this month, where he expects to get more information on how to move forward with their plan. The best way to let someone know you miss them is to show them. That's why the Boys and Girls Club of Columbus put together a We Miss You parade. Look at all those folks there. Parents and club members, they drove by getting some snacks and activities for club members to take home. Volunteers were also able to reconnect with the kids that they've not seen during the club's shutdown.
It has been a great Thursday evening. Right now we have some very comfortable temperatures already down into the mid to upper 60s in many spots. The Columbus area, Tupelo still reporting low 70s, but many of us now dipping into the 60s, and most of us, let's just say just about all of us, will get down into the mid to upper 50s. So a nice and refreshing start to our Friday. We will have a warm day tomorrow, though, after that chilly start for this time of year, back into the mid to upper 80s. Look at all that sunshine. That's our Louisville planner. Low 80s by midday, mid to upper 80s in the afternoon. And as we look ahead, no major problems here, no weather issues for the next 7 days. Lots of sun, warm temperatures. Your full forecast coming up.
A move is underway in the Mississippi Senate to change the state's flag, but it faces several hurdles. Now, the deadline to consider new bills has passed, but if senators vote to suspend those rules, the Senate Bill 2445 can proceed. That bill would change the design of the state flag. First, 2/3 of the members of both the House and the Senate have to agree to suspend the rules. Then the resolution would go to the Rules Committee. Now, if those members agree, the resolution would then be brought to the Senate floor, where a 2/3 vote in each chamber would be needed. The actual flag bill could then go to committee and could move onto the floor of the Senate for a vote. If it passes, it would then go to the House and then onto the governor, who could sign it or veto it. The Senate's action comes as voices calling for a change to the state's embattled banner grow louder. Today, a group of religious leaders made their case. Courtney Jackson has more.
The voices outside these Capitol walls calling for the flag to be changed are getting louder and putting more pressure on the state's leaders.
A powerful voice, and one that will echo far and wide.
Leaders from different faith backgrounds lined the steps of St. Peter's in Jackson Thursday.
Jesus said, love God and love your neighbor. And I think we can do this if it's an act of love to neighbor.
By not changing the flag, we're saying to the world, nothing has changed.
This symbol perpetuates an image to the rest of our nation that we not only tolerate backwards thinking, but exalt it.
The focus isn't about what it's changed to, but rather getting the current one down.
I would hate for us to lose sight of what our goal is by getting caught up in the minutia of how we create the next generation.
Another group voicing their call for change is the Mississippi Association of Educators, first posting a letter to social media late Wednesday.
We're keeping our students safe and protecting them and providing them an environment in which they want to learn. Entering into a school building each day where the current state flag is flying does not help us to support that.
Governor Reeves continues to stand by his position that it should be put to a vote by the people if the flag is ever changed. But these leaders saying this can't wait.
Just show some leadership and not acquiesce your leadership by sending this to a referendum.
Courtney Jackson, WCBI News.
Neither of those groups are calling for a specific flag replacement. Lawmakers say they've received a flood of emails from folks both for keeping and changing the flag. Policing in our nation, it's also a big topic today. Some say there's a divide between law enforcement and some of the people that they are sworn to protect. Our Bobby Martinez talks with the sheriff about his job, racism, and how he hopes America as a whole can come together and create change.
At what point are we all going to get together? We're all going to decide where we want to go with this and move forward.
They say the past is etched in stone, and for some, the past is what they may continue to hold on to. On another front, racial injustice has been brought into the spotlight. Winston County Sheriff Jason Pugh is hoping for a positive change.
At what point are we going to continue to fight about things that have happened that weren't right? We have to move forward. If we don't, we're going to continue to stay locked in the past. You know, I would love to say that that's going to be easy to do. Quite obviously, we haven't done a very good job of it so far. We're still having arguments that we were having 20 years ago. We're not making a lot of progress.
When it comes to race, Pugh says it is important everyone takes a moment to see things from the other person's perspective.
I quite honestly realize that through talking through some of my dear friends, that I don't always see things the way another person sees it, especially a person of another race. You know, I don't have the same background a lot of times. I don't have the same history, and I don't see things the way they see things. What I have to do is realize that I'm not seeing things the way they're seeing things and be willing to try to understand how they see things.
And with tensions taking place in America, Pugh shares a message for those looking to join law enforcement.
I would say to people who are looking to get into this business, look into getting into this business to make the changes that you think are what needs to be made. Don't look at the problems we have now. Look at what you can do with it if you get here.
Sheriff Pugh also says that anyone in Winston County who may have questions or concerns, his door is always open to sit and talk. All right, we're going to switch things back over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith, it was another perfect backyard pool day here in North Mississippi.
Sure is, and if you missed out today, plenty of more days to go.
Hey, that's what we like to hear.
Great beach weather too. Yeah, I know, right? Great weather to be out and about here. For the beach forecast this weekend in Biloxi, upper 80s, partly cloudy to mostly sunny. It's looking great there and here. We'll talk about our forecast next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
It is hot and dry out west, and we have fires ablaze out there. The Bighorn Fire near Tucson, Arizona started a few days ago. Lightning sparked that fire. You can see the flames right there outside of Metro Tucson. A lot of smoke down there in the deep south or the southwest because of those fires. We are in the deep south here, but down here in the southwest, Arizona, New Mexico, a lot of those fires blossoming, smoke blowing around. Unfortunately, no rain expected down there in Arizona for the next week, so big problems for any fire that gets going down there. We will have no rain in our forecast for the next 7 days either. We will be staying dry through the weekend and probably for most, if not all, of next week. Here's our Alpha Insurance Camera Network from Columbus, Louisville, Mississippi, Vernon at Durham's Pharmacy, Tupelo. You can see some of those friendly clouds earlier today. This evening, absolutely amazing. A northerly breeze all day long. Low humidity, lots of sunshine, picture perfect. Saturday, upper 80s, a few clouds. Sunday, upper 80s. Sunny and warm. So if you have any outdoor plans, we're looking great. Over the last 24 hours, we had a cold front move through our area. Storms to our east yesterday and today, but for us, notice how we haven't seen anything. It's been absolutely amazing, and that's the way it's going to be for a while. Here's our first alert forecast. Let me get out of the way. We've got Hercules, tiny but tough. That's Hercules. That's what they're saying. We start out in the low 60s tomorrow at 7 o'clock, but before that, I think many of us will be in the upper 50s. By noon, 82, 87 or so at 4 o'clock. Pretty nice and warm across the region, mostly sunny. Highs will be warm. The air pretty dry here, so we will have another great day, especially if you were up early or late. Maybe you're taking the boat out to one of these lakes here, mid to upper 80s. Temperature-wise, the winds from the northeast at about 10 to 20, so a bit of a chop out there, but no chance of rain. Just pack the sunscreen, you'll need it. Widespread sun across the region. The exception to the rule will be over here across the Carolinas, Georgia, parts of Florida. A chance for some showers and storms, but we've got a big area of high pressure, and we'll actually have a series of high pressure systems coming our way for the next few days, and that's essentially going to cap the rain chance and give us a lot of sunshine. And a northerly flow will at least keep us on the cooler side and the less humid side for the next few days, and that will keep these overnight lows tolerable. Next week we'll moderate back into the low 90s, but lots of sun for the next 7. More of the show after the break.
Welcome back, everyone. Cataracts are the leading cause of blindness here in the United States. We talk about treatment options in tonight's Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dan Bennett, an ophthalmologist on staff at Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle. And tonight we'll discuss treatment options for cataracts. The symptoms of early cataracts may be improved with new eyeglasses, brighter lighting, anti-glare sunglasses, or magnifying lenses. If these measures do not help, surgery is the only effective treatment. Surgery involves removing the cloudy natural lens of the eye and replacing it with an artificial lens. A cataract needs to be removed only when vision loss interferes with your everyday activities such as driving, reading, or watching TV. You and your eye care professional can make an informed decision about whether cataract surgery is right for you. In most cases, delaying cataract surgery will not cause any long-term damage to your eye or make the surgery more difficult. You do not have to rush into surgery. Sometimes a cataract should be removed even if it doesn't cause problems with your vision. For example, a cataract should be removed if it prevents examination or treatment of another eye problem such as age-related macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy. Cataract removal is one of the most common operations performed in the United States. It is also one of the safest and most effective types of surgery. In well over 90% of cases, people who have cataract surgery have better vision afterwards. You can quickly return to many everyday activities, but it will take time for your eye to heal and to adjust so it can focus properly with the other eye, especially if the other eye has a cataract. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
The NCAA providing relief for programs affected by the coronavirus. More on that story next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Night one of the MLB draft proved to be a good one for Mississippi State. The Diamond Dogs saw two of their own come off the board in the first round. Second baseman Justin Foscue and shortstop Jordan Westberg. Foscue picked up by the Texas Rangers as the 14th overall, and Westberg selected by the Baltimore Orioles as the 30th overall. Westberg and Foscue had their seasons cut short due to the coronavirus outbreak. However, both wishing to have played more time, they're just saying the majors are simply the next best move.
It's a bummer. You know, I would be lying if I said it wasn't a disappointment, but at the same time, this is just the next step. I know that me and Foscue were both super excited to hear our names called last night, and you know, after exchanging words, and I'm sure I'm going to get a call from him later today. You know, it's a shame that we couldn't see that season play out and see what would have happened. I'm sure it would have been special, but at the same time, this has been our dream since we were little kids. So it's been awesome to you know, experience this, and I can't wait for the next step.
Man, I miss it, that's for sure. I kind of treated this as a second off season, you could say. I know a lot of people are saying that. But I miss playing baseball, man. I really hope we would have gone to Omaha 3 straight years and made history. So that's definitely disappointing. But I'm definitely excited to start this next chapter of my baseball career.
Some more from the draft. State signee Austin Hendrick also drafted as 12th overall in the first round on day one. The final day of the MLB draft grabbed some more Mississippi talent today. From MSU, pitcher JT Ginn picked up in the second round as the 52nd overall pick by the good old New York Mets. He'll be joining Jake Mangum. Another signee out of state, Blaze Jordan, the signee for state, selected by the Boston Red Sox in the third round as the 89th overall. And out of Ole Miss, a couple of those guys. Shortstop Anthony Servideo going in the third round, 74th overall to the Baltimore Orioles, and closing out is third baseman Tyler Keenan to the Seattle Mariners as the 107th overall in the fourth round. Some big news for Division I baseball. The NCAA Division I Committee for Legislative Relief is providing Division I ball with relief for the upcoming school year. Now Division I teams won't have to worry about a 35-man roster cap. There's no longer a limitation on that, and the annual counter has increased from 27 to 32, and the 35% scholarship minimum will be eliminated. NASCAR is getting ready to bring back fans. However, NASCAR has also made the decision to begin race days without the Confederate flag. I talked with NASCAR driver Tommy Joe Martins about the recent change. He says this is a change that's been a long time coming.
The thing that I realized is, regardless of how you feel about it, when somebody notices that flag, it generally gives them a certain feeling, and it's not always a good one. And regardless what it means to you, it means something else to somebody else, and first impressions matter here. And I think NASCAR realized, you know what, if we got a bunch of Confederate flags flying around in the infield, to somebody that doesn't know the difference, what's their first instinct going to be when they see all of those? And then maybe we already lost them. And they're just trying to make it a place where everybody feels comfortable.
Can you believe you're seeing it? It's live baseball, ladies and gents. The Tupelo 49ers and the Pontotoc Red Sox facing off in a doubleheader. Niners up 2-0. J.W. Armistead adding to the lead in a big way. Ball leaves the park to the left in a hurry. A 3-run homer. Tupelo takes a commanding 5-0 lead. Red Sox trying to rally after that. Pico Townsend with a hot shot to short. The base hit, but Pico would be left stranded on base, and Tupelo adds to its lead in the bottom of the fourth. Stone Collier belts one to left, stays in the yard. however, brings Jack Ketchum on home, and the 49ers dominate in Game 1 with a final of, get this, 12-0. What a way to come out in the first game of the weekend. Pontotoc would go on to win Game 2 in 5 innings. The final of that one is 6-3. And the tournament up in Tupelo continuing on for the rest of the weekend. Exciting overall. We love to see it back. That's it for sports. More for you when we come back.
Flag Day is Sunday, and did you know there's a right way and a wrong way to actually dispose of a tattered and worn American flag? A Tupelo Boy Scout, that is helping people do it the right way. For his Eagle Scout project, Bryant Perkins of Troop 85 has refurbished the receptacle at American Legion Post 49, where people can leave American flags that are ready to be retired. The receptacle was damaged in the 2014 tornado. Perkins and his fellow scouts gave it a fresh coat of paint and new decals. He says it's important to follow proper protocol when retiring the U.S. flag.
Well, first off, the main reason that the retirement of old flags is important is because it's just respectful to the flag as the symbol of the country. And since if we want to respect the country, you also want to respect the flag as a symbol of it.
Sunday, Perkins will be collecting canned goods for a local food pantry at the Scout Service centered on Air Park Road. Also, a flag retirement ceremony will follow that afternoon.
Those flags loving the breeze we had today. Tomorrow as well from the north at about 10 to 20. Lots of sunshine here for your Friday, 87. Your weekend, mostly sunny, upper 80s. Comfortable overnight lows here as we get into next week, a little bit warmer, Scott, but I think the weather department is essentially closed for a while.
Hey, but keeping sports busy with the 49ers.
That's good. We'll shift the work over to Courtney.
Right? Yeah, all right. We'll see y'all tomorrow.